What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is time for Past the Prop. We're going NBA today. I think it's like 8 or 10. I think it might be 10 game slate tonight on the NBA slate tonight. I can't talk. I don't know why. It must be all this snow we're getting here. It's just a gloomy, crappy day. But joined as always by my guy, Stu. How we doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good too. It's cold over here too. Okay, it was 40 degrees yesterday, and that was tough for me. So I just, it's not just you that has problems. Okay, it's a nice sunny 40 over here, but yeah, no snow over here. Although my team is going to the West Coast, so that'll be fun. Washington versus Denver today. But yeah, we've got a good NBA slate. We've got NFL Thursday night football tomorrow. Just tons of good stuff coming up. So I'm excited. Actually, I didn't really love this slate when I looked at it last night. I was obviously so many injuries we still don't know about. But the more I kind of dove into these games, the more I actually thought we've got some pretty good games today. So I'm excited, obviously, to share my bets. I've already seen yours. I'm very pumped. I think we got a good slate of action today.
Yeah, and obviously coming off a pretty good show, last show, we're back to even on our numbers there. Did the Denny one? Did this one hit?
Denny, it did not. The half unit was the only miss of the day, unfortunately. Denny going absolutely quiet. No Monty Morris even too. Very unfortunate right there. But
the dude fouled worse than anyone I've ever seen, dude. I don't know what he was doing defensively. It was absolutely awful. Some of the worst DraftKings chalk I've seen in a while. It was like 70% owned and just did absolutely nothing. But yeah, it definitely was based off those fouls. Couldn't get into a rhythm early on. But yeah. Hart, no rebounds in the first quarter. Kind of had me sweating a little bit, and then grabs 5 rebounds in the third quarter alone. The dude was an absolute beast on the stretch. And Damian Lillard, the thumbnail for a reason. The dude was unreal. 11 threes in that game. I had a ticket on 35-plus points as well at plus 285. That one was a lot easier than a plus 285 should be. SGA was fantastic again. I think he had 3 steals, ended up with 40 points on the Mavs, which was awesome. And then Buddy Hield made me sweat a little bit, ended up with 20, but he was at 14 for, I swear to God, the entire third quarter, and he was making me sweat till the end there. But Kuzma came through in that blowout, right? I think it was a blowout there, so he kind of didn't even play the last 6 minutes. But Porzingis went out with injury, I think, too, in the middle of that one as well. So a lot of stuff going on in that Washington game, but 3-1. We're back to even on the year, right back where we want to be. And this is where we go positive on today's slate. But yeah, we will get on into it a little bit here. Pretty slate, in terms of like those huge marquee matchups that we had last night. I'm not saying these aren't good games, but like LeBron facing off against the Celtics, like last night. And then you have the Warriors facing the Bucks, which the Bucks just absolutely dismantled that team and made them look absolutely terrible. That was awesome to watch. Draymond get a guy kicked out of the Pfizer, which was funny because they're down 20 at the time. So it's like, is he really saying that stuff, or is he just mad that they're down 25?
Yeah, no, yesterday we had all the stars come out, and then it really only resulted in blowouts. So maybe the fact that we don't have the stars coming out is a little bit better today. Because, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't know. Did you have any money at all on Mikal Bridges at all last night? Because for anyone that did, that was – whoa, what an adventure, man. What was he, 1 for 18 or something to start the game out?
Dude, it was so bad. I think he ended up 4 for 24. I'm like, hey, shoot, I guess. But him, Damian Lee – all these dudes just were brick city. They were terrible, but everybody was betting on them. I had over 2.5 threes at plus 130, and obviously that didn't come through. But yeah, Drew Holiday didn't play for the Bucks last night either. Got to see the Javon Carter show again. Didn't go as berserk as he did in a few of those games without Drew there, but still looked pretty good, as well as Grayson Allen and Connaughton. But yeah, there was some pretty cool games. Did you watch the Laker game late last night?
No, I did not make the Lakers game last night, but I saw it was a good one. I missed out.
It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic game of runs. I had my article play of Davis 11 rebounds and Tatum 25 points. Davis went for 37 and 12, and Tatum went for 41. So just crazy back and forth. LeBron looked good. You could just tell though. They didn't give him any rest in the second half. Anthony Davis did not come off the floor in the second half. 44 minutes yesterday. And you could tell at the end of the game there was no legs in any shots. And that's what kind of gave the game back. Whereas they sat Tatum, they went on a crazy run, and then Tatum was fresh at the end of the game when everybody else was done. So still a crazy game. But yeah, I kind of wanted the Lakers to win just because of how hype it was in the arena.
Yeah, no, and I saw a clip right when I got home. I saw a clip that the Lakers were up like 20, and I was like, "Oh, nice! The Lakers got a good win." And I checked my phone, and the game had just ended, and they lost. So that's kind of Laker basketball, right? I mean, it's good games, good performances, something to finally get you excited for the team, and then they lose. So hopefully they get some wins together, just for the sake of my Twitter timeline, where I don't need to see people, crying every day.
Yeah, and one other game I kind of wanted to touch on was obviously the most popular bet by a million was Zion Williamson over 26.5 points. Ends on 26. And once I saw everybody on it, I did not touch it because it was probably the most bet spot of the year. I have not seen more people hyping up that spot. And it's a great spot, right? I mean, Utah is the worst there. I mean, all the numbers back it up. But Vegas ain't going to let you have that. That's too big of a bet, dude. Way too big of a bet. I literally saw everybody on it, and well-deserved. But 26 points with 8 minutes left, and he comes back in and doesn't get 1 point. Come on now. You know what's up. You know what's up there.
He came back in for apparently no reason. They were up by like 20 or something, which got my hopes back up. And then he sat around, didn't take any shots, and then they just subbed him right back off. So that was tough. I had him. I didn't have any plays yesterday. I was hanging out, but I did bet that one just because the whole world was kind of on it. I had a couple bucks on that. It was funny. I had a couple bucks on that one and Bridges. And as soon as I saw Bridges, I was like, I'm losing this one. He actually ended up cashing me, and then Zion obviously disappointed. But yeah, that was weird. Hopefully we got all that out of our system yesterday, so we don't have to deal with that kind of stuff again today.
Yeah, no, like I said, decent slate. Only one game with a spread above 8, and that is your Washington Wizards as 11-point dogs tonight. But every other game kind of hopefully will give us the non-blowout, the National Blowout Association, which was last night. Every game had at least a 20-point lead in it. Obviously, the Celtics game turned out to be pretty good, but there was points where both teams were down 20 in that game. We will kind of mention which game we like the most. Obviously, no Washington for you, and the Bucks aren't on the slate, so I can't bring them up. So which game are you looking at the most? Obviously, some pretty hefty totals in a couple of these.
Yeah, I think it's obvious to me. I think this is probably my favorite game. I'm super excited for it. Cavs, Mavs. That's going to be fun, man. There might only be, the final score might be like 88-90. It might not be a good offensive battle, but I'm really excited to see those two teams square off. I think that's by far my favorite game of the day. I almost had to play in there too for today's show, but like I said a second ago, if the final score is going to be 88-90, you know what I mean, a real low scoring game, then maybe I don't want to bet on that game too much for overs at least. So definitely love that game.
Yeah, I mean, and not huge superstars, right? Outside of obviously Luka Doncic, right? I mean, obviously there's Luka there, but Garland playing fantastic this year. Donovan Mitchell still shooting 47 times a game. And you got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen doing their thing down there. I don't know how I feel the Dallas Mavericks are going to match up in the paint. I really don't know how they're going to negate that because both of those guys, we've seen 20-point upside down there. And Mitchell's shooting 35-footers. They're going to be bricks. So how are you able to get the defensive rebounds? And that's really – I'm kind of concerned that both of those guys might just be going absolutely crazy. But yet we still see the Mavericks as 2-point favorites in this one, which I thought it'd be more of like a pick 'em, honestly, but I guess it is in Dallas. Maybe they swing the points there. One game I love tonight is definitely going to be the Spurs Blazers. I love that game. And also you look at the Pacers with the Warriors. I don't know how we can give the Warriors 2 points against the Pacers, dude. They just played in Milwaukee. Now they're flying back home. They got humiliated. And I think this Pacers team, if they just put the pressure on them and run, I'd be curious to see how those older guys' legs keep going. I don't know how they're going to do after playing those minutes they played last night. They get dismantled by a team without their second best player, Drew Holiday. It's like that's kind of demoralizing, especially when you get back off of a road trip for that. It's going to be interesting for me. Actually, I think they're still on the road. It's a 6-game road trip, so they're heading right to Indiana. That's even worse. I kind of like the Pacers there. They're plus 105 on the money line, man. And I'm not impressed with that Warriors team. What are your thoughts on them?
Well, how many Warriors are going to sit out tonight? Right now, we have Steph Curry props up, but is Steph Curry going to play? He hasn't played too many back-to-back so far this season.
Clay, I don't think, is playing for
Clay?
Sure. I'd assume because he's sat every single back-to-back.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the other guys are kind of what matters the most. Obviously, pretty much is Curry and Draymond going to play? Because if not, then I mean, I obviously love the Pacers.
Hey, right here. Klay Thompson, injury management, out 100%. And then all this is Spurs props. Romeo Langford out, Zach Collins out, Richardson and Diop in.
If Collins is out, is Podol back or is it?
No.
So who's going?
Charles Massey, baby. It's the Charles Massey show, dude. I fucking love that guy.
Okay. Well,
that dude's a beast. Out. He's so good, dude.
I mean, hey, they'd have no one else to play center tonight, right? So, I mean, we'll see. Might be worth a couple bucks.
I know Wiggins didn't play last night. I'm pretty sure he's out through tonight for sure. Curry left the game. I'm pretty sure he returned, but I'd be curious to see what they're going to do there. It's just these are the types of DFS slates that I hate because there's so much chalk that's going to be out there, and you have to pick the right one. And you know it's tough to do that, especially with all these dudes missing.
Okay, so then before we move on right here, I'm curious, just a quick question before we get in the props to you and even to anyone in the chat. Which one of the Warriors, scrubs, bench players?
Kuminga, baby.
Is it Kuminga? You think so?
Yeah.
Kuminga's been playing real well recently. My biggest concern, I guess, is when you look at who matches up well against the Pacers. The Pacers do defend the paint pretty well, right? That's one of their strengths, I would say. It depends on if Kuminga is getting more minutes against Miles Turner or Jalen Smith, right? If he's getting those Jalen Smith matchups, then give me Kuminga 10 out of 10 times. But if he has to see Turner a lot in the paint, then I wonder maybe it's a DiVincenzo game from outside, baby.
No, I don't think – dude, Jalen Smith's playing 12 minutes a game.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, and Miles Turner is going to match up with Looney. I don't think Looney's going to sit. Looney doesn't sit back-to-backs.
You don't really need to put your marquee defensive player on Looney. That never happens, right? And Miles Turner is going to –
if you put Miles Turner out on Kuminga, and this is what happened last night with the Bucks game, is they kind of sagged off or whatever. Dude, Kuminga can run right by him, dude. Kuminga's athletic as hell, dude. I watched him just absolutely cook from the outside on the Bucks there, and they were giving him 5 feet of space, and he was still getting to the rack. Still getting fouled. I think that's got to be where it's at. I mean, he's had, 14, 19, 24 in his last 3 games, and he put up 19 on the Bucks in only 27 minutes. The dude's just shooting so efficient. I can't get away from playing him, especially if it's going to be a run and gun game, which a 238 total is telling me that. We don't see Turner play more than 30 minutes either. So Turner's playing 29 minutes, especially if it's going to be a run and gun game. I think it's the Kuminga show there, and I'd be curious how much – if they do play Looney, how much he's going to play in a game that they could just run him off the floor if they really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my biggest concern, I agree, Kuminga's been playing super well. It's just you and the rest of the world are going to be on him tonight too, right? I mean, especially if you're a DFS guy, Kuminga's he's got to be chalk. If he's cheap, there's no way he isn't. It's the perfect combination of recent form and an increased role. People love recent form, right? That's why I'm thinking, well, what's Moody been up to? He's only been playing 10 minutes out there. We've seen Moody kind of pop off in some of these bench games where he's given a better role. So I don't know. We'll see what the props are. We'll obviously be around later today, to talk about that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see what Warriors. I see Ty Jerome from Steve in the chat too. Hey, he's a bucket. He's always been a bucket. Okay.
I like the guy you played last night quite a bit was Anthony Lamb against the Bucks. He looked really good. I will probably be on those two only. Moses Moody is not good, bro. That guy is not good. Every time he is chalk, he is trash. I've seen enough of these Warrior games where they sit these dudes and he doesn't do shit. So I can't even look at him at all. I can't even look at Moses Moody at all because that man just burned me too many damn times. But we have Bradley Beal officially ruled out. I know somebody mentioned that. And officially Kristaps Porzingis ruled out. So all this stuff is coming out right now. Obviously, the Warriors about to lose to the Pacers. The Wizards probably going to lose by 36 tonight in Denver. Maybe 40, honestly. I might take the band of them. 40-point win for the Denver Nuggets. 50 points for Jokic, 35 for Murray, and maybe take a team total under 49.5 for the Wizards.
Yeah, I just bet Jokic points plus assist on Prize Picks while you were talking real quick right there. Just because, oh my God, Daniel Gafford and Taj Gibson have to line up against Jokic for 35 minutes tonight. It'll probably be 23 minutes because it'll probably be a blowout. But, this Wizards team is going to suck tonight. Oh my God. I would not play any starters. Kuzma might shoot 30 times in the 28 minutes he plays, but oh my God. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, sorry. We don't have to talk about the Wizards anymore. We're gonna get
the worst part about it is I would definitely go to Jordan Goodwin, but Monty Morris is coming back. Yeah. I can't, you're gonna take all your two superstars and then sneak in that Monty Morris is available to play. That's just criminal, bro. Just sit that guy on the bench. That guy is garbage.
Oh, God. And it's a revenge game, too, for Monty Morris. Dude, Monty Morris and Jordan Goodwin are both 6'1". Who are they going to guard? These two can't even be on the floor at the same time. Oh,
they even got Campazzo there to guard, bro. They don't even got him there. They don't even got the 5'5" dude to run around and guard. They don't even get him this time. Now they're going to match up with Jamal Murray? Come on now. This is gonna be ugly, dude. I mean, what do you think? Before we get into our props, obviously, guys, we're shooting the shit or whatever, but what do you think this total ends at, the spread for the Wizards and Nuggets? It already moved a full point. It's at 12 now.
Maybe 14 and a half, something up there.
Oh, I might even think it might be even higher. I might even think it might be higher because they're in Denver, too. Like, Daniel Gafford will play 8 minutes tonight. He will foul out in 8 minutes.
Foul out in 8 minutes.
And you just got to hope Jokic is like, all right, maybe today I'm testing my 3-pointers, bro. That's literally the only way Daniel Gafford stays on the court for more than 10 minutes because that man is a foul machine. He's like, remember Montrezl Harrell whenever he played a good big guy, lasted about 15 minutes in a game? Yeah, it's kind of that way.
But even if you look, too, Taj Gibson, who's our final center, has probably only played 25 minutes this whole season. He's probably averaging pretty close to a foul per game when he gets out there, or like a foul per minute almost. So, oh God, don't even watch that game tonight, guys. They put it at 9:00 for a reason. It's the perfect, like, random in the middle of all the good games. Oh, that's going to be terrible. Yeah, I would steer clear of any starters on both teams because this feels like a blowout.
Yeah, and luckily for you guys, we have all plays not in those games. So our plays are still available for you to bet because all those other games are already down. And, yeah, they're already all taken down off the books. All props for those games are already off. So let's get into it. We got 4 bets here for today. And like I said, none of them are in all this news. Like, we haven't had one where we've had all this news drop on stream because usually NBA waits till about 5 minutes before the game to drop their injury report. So, hey, shout out Wizards for being shitty, but at least being shitty early in the day. Give me some time. I like that.
It's surprising. I think if we thought we had any chance whatsoever, we'd actually not give this information away. It almost feels like this is just giving up for the game, right? Like, because if you want a strategic announcement, it sucks for us as bettors. But if I were a coach, I wouldn't tell anyone shit. You're going to have to wait till 5 minutes before the game to find out that Porzingis isn't going to play. But when you announce it at 1:00, it's almost, waving the white flag out here.
Yeah, maybe they're doing it so the Denver Nuggets sit out some of their starters. Just
honestly,
that's the only thing I can really think about here. So let's get into some plays here. Again, guys, if you could smash the like button, we appreciate it. And we'll get right on into it.
Sounds good. We'll start out with a half-unit spot right here. We're going Gary Trent Jr., 18 points, Fred VanVleet, 5 assists, -115 over on DraftKings. Start out with Gary Trent. That's a little bit of a harder leg, I would say, right here. But it's been a little bit of a tougher season for Trent in general. I had some criticism, even got moved to the bench for a couple games. But he's back in the starting lineup, 18 points in every game since then, which is obviously a good sign. One of the biggest things right here, too, is injuries, right? We're without OG Anunoby now, he's one of their key players on this team. Him sitting out not only helps them on the offensive side of the ball, where he'll have more opportunities, it helps him on the defensive side of the ball because he's the best. He's arguably the defensive player of the year so far this season. I believe he's rated second right now in the rankings behind your guy, Brook Lopez. But I don't know how long that actually lasts. I don't think Brooke Lopez is winning Defensive Player of the Year at his age. No offense.
Dude's blocking so many. It's
Yes.
crazy. The amount of blocks per minute he is in the game is absurd.
It's insane. He's a one-man wrecking crew in the paint. Like, you really can't drive against them right now, especially with Giannis as your help side defender. Oh my God. It's a driving point guard is done. SGA scoring 9 points next time they play. Either way, right here, Gary Trent Jr., 18 points. What I was talking about right there is OG. It helps them on the offensive side and the defensive side, right? Having a Defensive Player of the Year out of the lineup, obviously, is just going to make more points for everyone. So I think that's a good spot. He hit this number in his first game without him last week. And he's got a great matchup. The Kings allowed the most points in the league versus opposing shooting guards right here. Obviously, a great sign for Gary Trent Jr., who obviously is their shooting guard. So him to get 18 points, I feel pretty good about that one. Fred VanVleet, 5 assists. He hasn't been as consistent this season as he has in some of these past seasons, right? We're normally used to Fred VanVleet's line being 8.5, even 9.5 at times where he's really in it. They are spreading the ball around a little bit more, but to get good odds on 5 assists just felt pretty criminal, averaging 6.4 on the season, and then 6 over his last 10 games right here. He's coming in with some good recent form. And once again, with the OG injury, it's just one less guy to have their hands on the ball. This is a team that really spreads it out. They have a lot of guys kind of control the pace. But now that we have these Chris Boucher minutes who's coming in, he played 24 minutes last game and kind of playing – when he's on offense, he's playing a lot of that spot up roll. He's rolling to the rim. He's getting those easy assists for point guard. So I really do like that connection as someone that Boucher can't create his own shot whatsoever. So he's relying on Fred VanVleet to kind of get him those assisted buckets right there. I just think this is 2 lines on 2 guys that it's very simple. It's kind of what I like to do with these same game parlays. It's correlated, right? Fred VanVleet's assists could very well be going to Gary Trent. And it's 2 guys taking advantage of good matchup against the Kings right here. So I feel very good about Gary Trent Jr., 18 points, Fred VanVleet, 5 assists.
Yeah, and I won't talk about it too much. I'll have a play in this game as well, but that'll be later. That'll be my biggest play of the day, so I will kind of talk about that game in a bit. But I'm going to head to my boy. I'm heading to my guy. Brunson's a fan of the show. Bojan, right? There's a lot of guys. And Bojan Bogdanovic has been fantastic for me this year, and I think that continues again. Right. And there's teams that you love to target. Again, Charlotte Hornets are definitely one of them. There are very few teams that the Pistons are going to have a 3-point spread as favorites or dogs. And Charlotte fits the mold, right? They're just not good defensively. They're average offensively. I just saw that LaMelo Ball is now questionable, which will be interesting. I can't assume that he's playing more than 25 minutes if he does come back tonight. But what I like here is just the pure amount of 3-pointers that are going to be going up on the Charlotte side for those long rebounds. You look at Charlotte on the year, they're 6th worst in points allowed, and also they're bottom 10 in offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds allowed, and just overall rebounds allowed, right? And this is going to be where Bojan's going to be able to grab them, right? There's a lot of games where Bojan Bogdanovic doesn't grab any rebounds, right? There he grabs like 1, 2, but let's look at the games where these guys are just chucking threes against them, right? You see him against Denver. He grabbed 9 rebounds. There were so many threes shot up by Denver. Everybody knows that's really what they do. It either goes to Jokic or it's a 3-point attempt, right? You go there. You go to a couple other ones. Utah, that's all they're doing, right? They have no post presence. Their centers are shooting threes, right? When there's going to be a lot of threes put up in this game, Bojan has a chance for those long rebounds, and that's the type of spot I want to attack, especially now that Bojan's actually scoring at will, right? We've seen them on all of these, long shot tickets because people are finally realizing this dude is a sniper. This man is awesome. He was one of the best pickups of the offseason. I talked about it at the beginning of the year because he fits this team. Obviously, Cade Cunningham being out doesn't help, but 38 points last game against the Lakers, right? We see him score 19 against Memphis, right? We had 23.5 points per game over this past month, right? This guy has been fantastic, shooting a 3 at a high level. And also, how can you get mad when you know he's getting every technical shot? He's shooting 97% from the line. This dude's a walking bucket, and I think he absolutely cooks Charlotte tonight. 23.5 is ridiculous.
Yeah, I like this number a lot. I like when you kind of get those rebound spots on guys that don't traditionally rebound because they have a lot of upside, right? But that upside really isn't factored in. If he's only averaging a couple boards a game, then they're not going to really factor that into their projection right here. But in reality, this is a guy that could get this with points, right? And I'd almost feel pretty good about him getting close, at least with points, which means you really only need 1 or 2 rebounds, which is obviously a normal game. But now, like you said, you get a good matchup where they're going to be chucking up those threes. Hopefully LaMelo Ball does play for this prop. I mean, let's move that pace up. Let's run in transition a little. We know he adds absolutely zero on. It's almost the opposite of OG not being there, right? OG takes out a huge defensive presence. LaMelo being in, that puts in a huge negative on defense as well right there. So definitely like the spot, and I'm hoping he plays so we get a little bit more possessions, a couple more.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I don't expect him for more than 25 minutes, but even in that opportunity and time there, I think we could definitely see some extra numbers. And the 23.5 is his average over the past 6 games over the month, right? That's his average points. In one of those games, he only played 20 minutes and scored 5 points. He's dropped 33 times in the last 6 games. So once he's hot, man. He's a microwave. He gets it one time, he sees 1 3 go in, be ready because it's going up. And I think even in the paint, right? We talk about attacking Charlotte in the paint. Bojan has been more willing to go into the paint to get those layups and go in for dunks and stuff like that. So it's something nice to see as he wasn't doing that earlier on in his career.
100%.
All right, let's take a look at the chat here. Obviously, a lot of other stuff we kind of missed the chat. Turbo, first guy in here. Awesome. Happy to see you guys in here. Sorry for the late notice. But I know you guys want to watch the World Cup, so we got to make sure we get it up here earlier. We got Terrence in here as well. Awesome to see all you guys pop in here at this new quick switch up. Yeah, dude, Jordan Goodwin should. He should. But if Monty Morris is just going to be a little pest, dude, it's going to be annoying.
He might get there in steals. That might be how Jordan Goodwin gets there, honestly.
Dude, he priced up to 5,200 on DK today. Like I was grabbing that man at 3K for a while, man. Yeah. And now it's just, you got to pay a premium, dude. It's kind of annoying there, but he's like the same price as Gary Trent, bro. Like that's a little ridiculous. What's your thoughts here on Goodwin? Do you think he starts?
No, you can't start Monty Morris and Goodwin. So I would assume Monty Morris takes the start against his former team. I think he will get second unit minutes. The problem with second unit minutes, you know this.
Who's making those shots?
I don't even want to say the name though. There's this guy. His name rhymes with Harden. He sits out there, Harton, not Harden. Let's get that a little clear right there. And he just sits out there and he just ISO possessions. He shoots. It's Will Barton. The guy fucking sucks. He's going to shoot like 40 times on the second unit. None of those good ones.
I hate Will Barton, by the way, just to say that.
Oh,
I hate him more than anyone. I texted you. I'm like, dude, I need this guy to twist his ankle, man.
Yeah, he's
got a 95% usage rate, bro.
I think he's bottom 5 in shooting percentage and true shooting percentage this season, and you would not know. He goes out there and shoots so much. So the point is, even if Goodwin does pass it to Will Barton's taken about 5 dribbles, 3 fakes, and maybe a nice little no-look hezzy fadeaway move before he shoots that ball, which means you're not getting that assist right there. So, and like you said, too, just who makes the shots? Wizards have to be a blacklist almost today. I'll look. Because I love my team. I'll probably bet on them in some way, but that's more sad than anything. You don't want to be like me, right? You don't want to do that. But
just got to bet Will Barton over 19.5 shot attempts. That's a lot, bro.
It is probably a lot. Oh, God.
I use that word very, very never. I never use that word, but I would be very surprised to see him under 20 shot attempts tonight. All right. Now we get to kind of head away from that game, thank God. Not have to listen to that one anymore and talk about the Wizards. But first, I believe this is the first game of the slate that you're kicking us off with. A lot of injuries on the other side, but I think this is a great spot here.
Paolo Banchero over 20.5 points, minus 120 over on MGM right now. Also, if you're a Prize Picks user, this is 19.5 on Prize Picks. I have no clue why. It's actually moved to 21 on FanDuel already, so we clearly see which way that line's moving. So if you are a Prize Picks user, I would definitely get that over on Prize Picks. I have multiple stuff paired with that so far today. So I love Paolo in this spot. I'll take the 20 points. So I was ready even to play 21. That's kind of what I was expecting. In 2 games versus Atlanta, he does have just 20 points. He got hooked on both of these games. He ended with 20 in both of them, but the volume was there in both of them, right? He was putting up those shots like we always do. And the thing that's so impressive about this guy, the guy, he doesn't stop shooting, and he's playing 37 minutes a game. I don't know why. I don't know why Orlando just decided to be like the Raptors or like the Knicks, but they are this season. Franz, especially Paulo, he's playing heavy minutes in competitive games, and they've been keeping these games close. They're losing a lot of games, but they're keeping them very close. The Magic and the Thunder have that in common, where they're bad teams. They were just getting destroyed last season. This year, they're actually putting out good efforts every single week. And man, the volume has just been so good. He's averaging 22.7 points at home this season. That's where he's going to be. And this Atlanta matchup, they're middle of the pack on a regular day. Who's going to be starting for Atlanta today? Is John Collins going to be back? If he is John Collins going to play more than 20 minutes? Probably not. Hunter is looking like he is still out. I believe he's out for a little bit, if I remember correctly.
Hunter's playing. Hunter just sat after a back-to-back. He played like 3 games. He's just
out for a couple weeks. My bad. Apologies there. I
think Collins is still out. I don't assume he's back. It's just Capella was weird because they sat him last game, which didn't make sense.
Yeah.
And Okongwu started there. So there's a lot of stuff up in the air. Assume Trae Young's playing and all that. So
Yeah. I think Young should go out there. Collins, I think he probably misses, but he was getting some shots up before last game. He looked like he was a little bit more mobile. So who knows? But the point is, even if he's out there, that does take away a defensive presence in the paint right there that you don't have to worry about. And I'm kind of hoping we get as many Okongwu minutes as possible. If you're not a Hawks fan, this is the backup center. He's been trending upwards this season, though. He's taking real minutes from Capella. He's playing fourth quarter minutes. He's playing in some of these closing lineups. Okongwu is clearly impressing the Hawks, and he's good. I like him. Here's the problem. This guy, speaking of Daniel Gafford earlier, he's a foul per minute kind of guy. That's really what's holding them up a lot. When Okongwu gets out there, he's very handsy. He's a good defender, but he's just a young guy. He commits a lot of fouls. That's just how it is. Paolo is an absolute free throw monster. This guy gets to the line better than any rookie I've seen, and just come in instantly and be able to get to the line, especially as a big man. It's very impressive. So pretty much everything in this guy's talent profile is just great. He's been so consistent. The volume is there every day. The minutes are there. He's had 2 good games against the Hawks, landed just shy at 20 points in both of them. But now he actually, in my opinion, gets a better matchup against a Hawks team that will be pretty depleted with all these injuries. So love the spot for Paolo. Gonna keep it going today.
Perfect. Yeah, I love it. I'm really interested to see the Atlanta starting lineup tonight to see who's actually playing. But obviously Murray's out. I'm pretty sure Collins is still out. We could definitely see. I don't expect they never play Okongwu and Capella together. It's always right after each other. So interesting, and obviously nice to have Ben Carroll's ability to shoot the mid-range shot as well. So I know I mentioned to you guys I was going to talk about the Raptors again. I'm going to. This is my biggest play of the day. I know I saw Terrence mention that boost. I don't do many of those boosts, but that's probably one I will be on. I'll be all over Lillard again today. I'll talk about him a little bit here. Obviously, everybody saw his 11 threes from last game. But, I mean, outside of that one, man, he still had 5, 9, and 3 in the games prior. He's averaging 14 three-point attempts per game here. And I talked about the Timberwolves, right? I talked about that in their last game when he faced off against them on just how poor they are against the 3-ball. Well, we're now playing the worst one against the 3-ball. He played the 3rd worst team against the 3, and now he's actually playing the worst one. So we're getting even better chances in this game. The San Antonio Spurs ranked last in 3-point percentage allowed. They're last in field goals allowed. They're last in opponent field goal percentage. They are absolutely terrible. Lillard, if he wants a shot, is going to get whatever shot he wants here. I really don't know how they're going to stop him. Like I said, he's averaging in the last 4 games 7 made threes. He's averaging in the last 4 games 20 shot attempts, and 14 of them are threes. So he's looking for it on the outside. I like that when when he's cooking, he's not going to the rim, man. He's going to shoot the 3-ball. He's been shooting it from 30 feet. He's been shooting it from 35 feet. He could pull it from the logo if he's hot tonight again. And I expect him to do it again here. The Spurs team obviously is depleted, but Damian is going to get his shot, right? 20 shot attempts per game and 14 of them from 3. It's just absurd. 70% of your shots coming from 3 is just crazy. And obviously he is seeing it well, one of the streakiest shooters in the game. And we're going to hit him while he's on the hot streak. I always say, you want to buy low, right, and sell high. But if a guy's this hot, you're not going to be able to really do that because the books don't want to get destroyed by him again, right? Like his 5 threes is plus 130. To hit 5 threes today. So buy it down. I'll get it at minus 170, and I'm going to throw it in with Pascal Siakam here. He's facing off in the game we talked about there already. against the Sacramento Kings. Bottom 6 in points in the paint allowed this year. I absolutely love this spot. He's obviously very good at distributing the ball. But if you look at his numbers here, he's still getting 18 to 19 shots per game in this month. I mean, at 27 points per game, and he's still getting 7 assists. His usage rate is through the roof. Obviously, OG Anunoby out is massive because guess what? He might get more minutes. Like that, isn't that crazy to say? They're not going to add another guy to the rotation. That's why I love Nick Nurse, dude. Imagine if like Fred VanVleet, like he gets his 5 assists and then like rolls an ankle or something. Bro, he ain't coming off the court. Pascal Siakam will not come off the court. If one person gets injured in this game, they're not going to add another body. That's not how Nick Nurse does it. He's just like, all right, we'll play with 6. I think he almost wants to play with 6 guys. I think he almost wants everybody else to have like COVID and shit so he can just play 6 and not get chirped for it because that's what he really wants to do. Last 4 games in competitive matchups, 38, 39, and 38 minutes. We could see 40 tonight. And Siakam, obviously, like I just said, has hit 20 points in 7 of his last 8 games. I think that this number is great. Obviously, we're paying a lot of juice on the Siakam price because his normal thing is 25.5, but I love the Lillard spot. I just did not want to lay a minus 160 as a straight bet, obviously. So sign me up, minus 110 comboed over on FanDuel, 1.5 units. I absolutely love everything about this spot.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love Lillard for all the reasons you mentioned. I mean, 230 game total honestly feels a little bit low. That almost feels like if the game's kind of a blowout, if it's a close game, I think we could see it crush that total. Lillard's also one of those guys. This is the highest scoring backcourt in the NBA based on points per game. So you can't double Lillard super aggressively because Simons is killing it over there. That guy's a sniper as well. So you can't throw these doubles, these immediate blitzes at Lillard on the outside because he's going to shoot those same threes, right? They have another guy that has a very similar skill set. So I love that. You can't really double Lillard. He's just going to get his shots. And this is, like you said, a top tier, an elite matchup. And then Siakam, I love Siakam. I was looking at him just as much as I was looking at Gary Trent. They'll both play 40 minutes out there. Great spot. Definitely love this combo right here.
Yeah, and I love how Chauncey Billups has staggered that rotation too, because Simons and Lillard obviously are the guys looking for the shot, but Josh Hart, he does exactly what you want him to do. Rebounds, and he passes the ball out of the middle, able to do all of the stuff that is perfect complementary basketball to Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons. And they're finally kind of pulling Jeremy Grant earlier in the quarter of the first quarter so then he can kind of have those 4 minutes without Lillard to start it and let him do his thing because he's obviously not shooting as much when Lillard's out there. His usage rate is like 10 points lower when Lillard's on the court, which obviously makes sense if Lillard is a high usage guy. But I think it works well because Grant's able to get his shot in those 4-5 minutes with Lillard on the bench, and Lillard plays that whole first quarter, which is just awesome. I just love how that is. I know he's probably one of your favorite guys, being a first quarter guy. There's just some guys that get that full first quarter run. Tatum, a lot of the times, you get Luka, and obviously Lillard gets them full minutes when he's cooking. So I just can't really get away from him. I think that even though there is a boost for it, hopefully this boost is on like Barstool or somewhere that I don't really care about their boosts, and hopefully it ain't FanDuel because that would make me a little nervous. But DK, okay, I can do it. DK, if it's FanDuel, you're fucked. So I can go with that.
No, I like the boost too. I'll probably max that out if it's a 25 or 50 max, something like that for sure. It's a good spot.
Beautiful. I don't think we have any questions. I will put that in here. If you have questions, drop them here. Okay. And then let's go through our recap here. We're about 40 minutes. World Cup kicks off in 10. So hopefully you guys are ready for that. Hopefully, dude, I just love this Morocco story, bro. But it's like you can't continue this defensive prowess like this and going up against these high caliber of dudes. Like it's a good unit. Yeah. But one-on-one, Mbappe's beating anybody they got, right? Griezmann in that he comes in like the 60th minute every game and finds a way to do something. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough not to like France. I think that would be an awesome matchup of PSG teammates between Mbappe versus Messi. That would be so cool to watch. And obviously everybody wants Messi to win, and it's probably his last World Cup. So a lot of cool narratives to go around it, but imagine that. The two best players on the two best teams in the world on the same team in France. That's just awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Morocco story is fun. I'll be rooting for them. It'll be exciting. Final score 4-0 France.
If they score one, it's fucked. If
Over.
they score one goal in the first half, that's gonna get out of hand. Alrighty, let's get to our recap here, and then we'll get on our way. Get you guys ready. Oh, maybe pop some popcorn and go get your stream set at your work. Hopefully, you have like one of those tabs that doesn't let your work tell you what you're watching in there if you're watching a stream. So, let's kick it over to you, Stu, for your two plays.
Yep, we're going Gary Trent Jr., 18 points / Fred VanVleet, 5 first, or not first quarter assists. That'd be kind of funny. 5 total assists. See, it's such a small number. I thought it was first quarter for a sec. 5 assists, -115 over on DraftKings. And I'm going to the GOAT, the rookie of the year already. We can just give it to him right now. Paulo Banchero, over 20.5 points, -120. 19.5 on Prize Picks, too, if you have it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'll be on Siakam. 20 points, Lillard 4 threes. That'll be my biggest play of the day. And then Bojan Bogdanovic over 23.5 points plus rebounds at -115. Facing off against the Charlotte Hornets there. Love it. I love all 4 of these spots. I'll be tailing your 2 spots for sure. But yeah, I don't think we have any other questions in here. I appreciate it, Mark. As always, we appreciate your support. Again, I always want to make sure I mention that we do take a look at all the questions after. If you are able to post those, drop them in there. We'll be able to get to them, especially with all this injury news. And we already got some, and there's still, I'm sure, going to be plenty more, especially with the amount of Tuesday games, which usually we don't have that many Tuesday games. So there'll be a lot of back-to-back. So if you guys do have questions, make sure you drop them there. But Stu, what do you got for the people today? Under 45 minutes, we were cruising through today.
Oh, yeah, we were cruising. Got some great NBA bets. Like you said, if you have any questions, drop in the comments. Heck, if you have a Thursday night football question, drop in the comments. I'll get there. But, yeah, a lot of stuff coming out. Make sure to follow us, obviously, both on Twitter. We're also over on Pickett Sports. Completely free app. Code PTP gets you between $3 and $100. We normally do our long shot, but there's just not that many options right now, to be completely honest. With all these injuries, these books don't want to post those long shots because they can absolutely get hammered on them, right? It's just kind of common sense. So they wait till a little bit later. So I'm going to be dropping a couple long shots over there. I've got to at least get one on a Wizards bench player if they give it to me. Maybe Anthony Gill, 15 points, something crazy. But if you want that, make sure to follow me over on Pickett. That's where I'll probably be dropping it. And yeah, got a lot of stuff coming out. I don't have any other articles or bets to play. Oh, I'll be on Prop or Chop tonight. I said that last week, and then they canceled. So I'll be on this week instead. So shout out Dimers, great people, work with them for a year. I'll be on that later tonight at 5 p.m. Drop in another NBA prop as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming. We got the NFL show. I'm getting hyped for that already. Got a good week coming on Friday as well.
Yeah, we get the 3 Saturday games as well, right? So it'll be cool to kind of split those up and maybe do Saturday picks and Sunday picks, which is cool with the NFL doing those Saturday games here these next couple of weeks, which is awesome. So, yeah, excited for this week. I'm excited for Friday. Hopefully we'll have a guest on Friday. Hopefully we'll have a guest throughout the next couple of weeks here. I know we went on a little run of like 5 straight shows with a guest, and now we've been on a little bit of a – we've been rolling here, so we wanted to do it us too. So hopefully we'll have some people on here, guys. Again, I always mention this. I don't do huge tweets about it, but maybe I'll put up a poll over on Pickett on some people that you guys would like to see pop on the show. We don't even need them here for the whole time. If you just want to pop in 10 minutes, drop a pick, we'll get all that going. And again, make sure you guys are interacting on those because we'd love to see who you guys are following too outside of us. Because obviously if you're here, you're probably following and tailing, so that's awesome. But if you do have other people you're tailing, make sure you drop those in the comment section for us. That we'd really appreciate it to get some new people on the show. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck on all your picks, and make sure you follow us over on Pickett for our long shots today. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck, and let's crush another slate.